Welcome. Hello, everybody. I am Annalise, and thank you for joining me tonight for Yin Yoga with Aromatherapy. I'll be using doTERRA essential oils in these classes just because I like how safe and effective and therapeutic they are. Tonight, the oil that I've picked out to sort of highlight is actually a doTERRA blend. It's called the Balance blend. It's a grounding blend. But you might have another grounding blend at home, or you might have, a tree essential oil that helps you feel really grounded that you might want to use as an alternative. And always lavender is a great alternative. If all else fails, lavender is always there to save the day. So let's begin just by getting comfortable in our seat. And I'm just going to put a few drops of the essential oil in the palm of my hand. You really don't need heaps. It goes a long way. And just rub the hands together. So with your palms now, let's cup your palms over your nose and just take a few really deep breaths in and out. If a sigh or a sound comes out, let it. It's all good. Just take another nice deep breath in of your essential oil. Just let your body receive any qualities, any memories, any colors, shape shifting behind your closed eyes. And just take this time to really receive the benefit of the balancing oil. Now you might also want to rub the oil on your body, on the back of your neck, give your shoulders a nice squeeze. And all over the body. Offer yourself some loving touch here. So in this balance blend, the reason I really love it is, especially on a daily basis, is just to keep emotions stable and to sort of allow a calm and tranquility even when there's really intense emotions like anger or fear or trauma or grief, rage, all these really extreme or even the ones that aren't so extreme but aren't so pleasant. This balance blend just sort of helps stabilize everything and helps physically keep you balanced as well as emotionally. So it's definitely a favorite. And so when you feel complete with your essential oil, we'll just come to sit on your bottom on your heels if that's possible. And if you might not already be here, but if you're not there, come into this hero pose. You're welcome to sit on a block. I've got a block here. And in fact, I've got 2 blocks here today, and these can always be substituted with books if you haven't got blocks at home. I've also got a bolster and a blanket. And bolsters could be towels or pillows, so you can be creative at home. All right, and so coming to sit in your hero pose, so just your bottom resting on your heels. Let's just do a little bit of release to let go before we go into our really grounding, calming practice. So first, I'll show you an example of what we're doing. We're breathing in on the inhale, drawing the shoulders right up to the ears, kind of tense. And then there's a really nice release, like a just let that all go. All right. So let's do 5 of those. Let's take a nice deep breath in together. You can even hold the shoulders at the ears for a moment. Let out a sound. Let go. And again, do a few, as many as you need. Can really use those sort of rib muscles and draw the belly in just to get all the air out of the body on the exhale, out of the lungs. Let's do one more just for good measure. Hold it. Zip in extra. Let go. So let the shoulders just rest down the back. And as you breathe out, let your chin come down to your chest. You're going to get really mindful with the breathing here. As you slowly breathe in through the nose, roll the right ear to the right shoulder, keeping both shoulders even. And then exhale, chin back to chest. I invite you to take an ujjayi quality to your breath as well. Breathing in, left ear to left shoulder. And the ujjayi breath is where you constrict the throat so you can hear the sound of the ocean. Exhale, chin back to chest. So if you've got a bit of a stiff neck, you might want to stick to the front of the body. Inhale, right ear to right shoulder. Or keep the chest open and the spine tall, and exhale the head back. And then inhale from the back, left ear to left shoulder. Okay, so just do one more for yourself, nice and slow, connecting with your breath. This is really a good opportunity to tune in to your breathing and settle into that flow. Anytime you need to release any discomfort in your legs, just do so. You might be starting to feel a bit funky. Next time your chin comes to your chest, inhale left ear to left shoulder. So we're going to go in the opposite direction now. Breathing in and out the nose, moving slowly and mindfully, giving the neck some love. Chin back to chest, and one more for you, just the perfect connected movement with breath, rolling around the neck. All right. Good. And next time the chin returns to the chest, you can use the inhale that follows to draw the head back up. So let's come on to the hands here. So pressing forward. I'm just going to turn on the side so you can see what I'm doing here. Tuck the toes underneath. Get a nice little toe stretch here. I've got tiny little pinkies, and if you do too, use your fingers and get them on the ground too. And just take 5 slow, steady breaths here. Breathing in through the nose. Breathing out through the nose. There's 1. Let the forehead be soft and relaxed. Breathe in. Breathe out. See how soft you can become on the exhales. You can even try and make those exhales longer than the inhales. I think that's 4. Let's do one more beautiful one. And come forward onto your hands and just stretch your toes out. Give them a little wiggle. And then place them on the ground. You can tap the mat and then come to sit on the heels. And then the hands can walk behind you here. So we're going to stretch the ankles here just by, well, first of all, you might be fine sitting in your heroes, but if you can take your hands down behind you, keep your chest open, and just lift the knees. So your ankles might be saying thank you, or they might be saying breathe easy and steady. Let your breath be your teacher as you move through all these poses. Smooth, even, steady breath. It's a great way to deal with sensation in the body. One more breath in. And come back. I'm going to actually keep the hands on the ground. And this time lift the hips so the knees can stay down. This is a gentle camel stretch. So just lift the thighs up, the hips. You can let the gaze be forward unless you know that your neck feels good to let the head drop back. Let's take another deep breath in the nose. One more. Let's take another full cycle, breathing in and out. Relax through the face. And then we'll just bring the hips back down. All right, let's come forward into a child's pose, letting the forehead rest on the mat or on a block or a book as you just take a moment to connect to the earth through your third eye, to find yourself in a nice little supported ball shape where it's like you're just being held by the earth. Let's take a few breaths here, arriving in your body with your breath. Maybe offering the vibration of an intention here. So maybe something automatically just came forward, something you're working on today or generally that you just want to remind yourself how amazing you are. Such as, I am grounded. We're doing a lot of grounding work today. Or if I am calm might suit you better. All right, let's take another few breaths just to positive talk to the self and just settle into that vibration as you're supported by the earth. Another nice deep breath in the nose. And if you want to sigh out with a sound or not, let that go. And we'll just come on up. Use the hands on the ground just to slowly bring the body up. Let's give those legs a bit of a stretch in front of your body, swinging them around. And just moving the legs, just offering your legs some extra love here for giving you your sort of connection to the earth. As you walk through life, your direction, your path that you take through this life. And so now as we, in a moment, we'll come into a lying butterfly. So first let's put the soles of the feet together. I've got my 2 blocks here. You might need them underneath the knees. If you don't need them, that's okay. And then from here, we're just going to come down nice and slowly onto the back. And sort of shifting from one side of the body to the other. One hand, then the other hand. One elbow, then the other elbow. And one shoulder and the other shoulder. And then we can just let the back of the head land on the ground. If you want to put a blanket across your body, that might feel really nurturing at the moment. And here we can just sort of let the body sink into the ground. You can roll your shoulders in slightly so that the heart opens a little. And that also brings a rotation in the shoulders, so helps to really open up and sort of counteract hunching. And just sort of creates a nice sort of open space with the palms facing up and the heart open to simply settle into the earth and receive and surrender. The ultimate quality of yin yoga is surrender. Let go of anything that you might have come with that is just sort of creating tension in your body and not moving through. Consciously, with intention, let it go. You can start with noticing physical tensions. You can scan the body and let them go. And then you might even go a little deeper, just sort of tuning into the emotional realm, the energetic realm. And as you sort of take these sort of very vulnerable emotions, that's surrendering can be very vulnerable. And just find a trust that the earth is holding you here. You're not going to fall off the ground. And your breath is there for you. If you start to sort of get stuck on a story, a dialogue in the head, or distracted by things around, Just know that breath is there, just ready for you whenever you need it to come back to a calmer, more balanced state. A state where it's easier to let go, where we can create space and freedom and flow. Let your shoulders feel the ground, the hips, any part of your body that is connected to the ground. Just let those points of connection become stronger, yet more relaxed. And steady the breathing. If you're still a little heady, you can focus on slowing down the exhales. Or maybe keeping a steady rhythm with the inhales and the exhales feels perfect for you. Enjoy the next 5 breaths. Feel the earth and just consider how you feel when you are grounded. And another thing to consider perhaps is, what cues does your body give you when you are ungrounded? You imagine and visualize. And then we'll continue just to breathe as you feel groundedness in your body. Draw on that experience, even if it's just in your imagination. Because once we sort of think it and believe it, it can really be true. Alright, it's good kind of magic. Okay, let's take another deep breath in and out. And let's use the hands outside the thighs to bring them up and the knees together, walking the feet out to the edges of the mat and just giving yourself a few deep breaths here with the knees supporting each other in a tent-like fashion. And the feet on the earth, connecting to those points on the feet that are connecting to the earth. Alright, so I'm going to come up super slow in the same way that we came in. So let's, from our shoulders, we'll take one elbow and then the other elbow and then one hand, slowly transitioning to an upright position. And so from here, we'll come with if the feet were together at the front, we'll keep them like that. We're just going to take the right heel back by the right hip. So these are deer legs. And then we can just sit tall and just take one hand in front of you, one hand behind you. And just settle into a nice, steady breathing. Check in with the shoulders, with the neck, if there's any relaxing you could do there. And the forehead and the jaw. This is so nice, especially for the right hip here, getting a really juicy internal rotation of that right side hip. And let's continue to breathe, finding the fullness of the inhale and the exhale. And also tuning into the wholeness of the pauses between the inhales and the exhales. So seamless. Yet they create the wholeness and the cycle of breath. Taking another 5 breaths here. Okay, beautiful. Now from here, I'm just going to again shift so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just going to come into a half settle position. So the right heel stays by the hip. You can take the top of the foot to the mat or to the ground if that's more comfortable, and stretch the right leg ahead of you. And so you might choose to stay here. We're going to come back onto the hands here. If you've got blocks as well, you could always sort of fill in some space with the blocks if that's easier. You can come down as low as is comfortable. Just moving really slowly. This is, as we come to lie down here in this half hero pose, it's quite a strong sacral lumbar arch stretch. So if you know you've got any issues down there, either choose one of these modifications up here, or come into a Sphinx pose on your front. You can do that as well. And so some of you might even be able to get the elbows to the ground, keeping the chest open, and possibly even your right shoulder and then left shoulder. And then just allow the body to settle into this shape. So also getting a nice stretch for the quadricep here, more love for the legs. And honor your body and know that you find your happy place no matter what. No matter what I say, no matter what anybody else does. You know what feels really good for you, where the breath is still present in your mind. You might experience sensation in the body, but it doesn't cause you distress. It's sort of like an opportunity unlocks to breathe to calm, breathing into calm. I'm going to take 5 more breaths here. So coming back up the way we came in, super mindfully. If you are down on your shoulders, sort of start to take your elbows into the ground, press into them, then one hand, then the other. And then let's just lean to the left and stretch your right leg out. And just give it a nice stretch. You can even stretch the arms overhead if you like. Good. All right. From here, we're going to do a take the right leg out wide, probably wants a bit of a stretch, and take the left foot inside the right thigh. Let's take a nice fold just by allowing the back to round as you fold forward. If you want to put a bolster or anything under your arms or forehead, you may. And just take a nice relaxing stretch here. Folding, letting the back of the body round, so the connective tissue might find a benefit here as opposed to in our other sort of more yang practices. This gets a little deeper inside. You might notice breath by breath, exhale by exhale, that you naturally soften and relax more. You can adjust as you do so, coming deeper into your fold if that's what the body is asking for. And then just staying in that position and breathing, resolving to stay there, to experience this new level of the fold, if that's where you go. And breathe into it. Let's take some nice full breaths. 5 full and present breaths. Surrendering and letting go. And as you're ready to come up, just slowly press into the floor. Come on up. We're just going to keep the legs in the same position and start to slide the right arm, or you can even put the right elbow on the right leg and support the right cheek in your hand, and the left hand on the left knee. And just allow this nice sort of lateral bend and little twist if you've got that left shoulder sort of rolling back. Just inviting a really nice open left side body, open chest. Now if you know you've got a little bit more space to go deeper, you can take that right arm down the inside of the leg. You can even use the peace fingers on your thigh. So just find your shape here and settle in. Come back to your breath. Check in all around your facial muscles if there are any that can soften. Breathe into the space. It opens to receive the inhale. One more nice deep breath in and out. And just guide the head back more in line with the spine before pressing the body back up. And let's take the legs just straight ahead. And Point and flex the toes. You can even take the hands behind you and just take a moment to breathe in and out. And then we'll come back into a deer leg position. This time the right leg is in front, and we're just going to swing the left heel to the left hip. And just take a hand in front, hand behind. And come back to your breathing here. Check in with your steady body, your steady breath on the steady earth. And if softening is available where tension resides, invite that in. And give yourself permission to soften and relax. You're still getting great benefit with that internal rotation of the left hip. And if you are finding some juicy sensations there, relax your eyes, tune into your breathing. See if you can send the breath all the way down into the hip or wherever that point of tension may reside within you. Let that exhale be a softening exhale, releasing. Breath by breath, stay present. And complete in a moment. So just really enjoy these last few breaths, the full cycle. Okay, I'm going to keep that left heel by the left hip, and actually I'm going to take the top of that left foot onto the ground, stretching the right leg ahead for half saddle. Gather any props if you want them behind you to support your body, or just start to lean back on the hands. If that feels comfortable, you can breathe easy. You can come onto the elbows, check in with your lower back. Always be mindful. Again, Sphinx pose is a really nice alternative to this one if it's too much in that lower back. Get onto the belly, and same as your arms here with the elbows and forearms on the ground. That's your Sphinx pose unless you're here joining me as we recline in our hero or our settle. And then maybe even the right shoulder and the left shoulder come down. Find your breath. You should be really mindful all the time in our yin yoga practice, especially in the transitions. Well, not especially, all throughout, but the transitions are kind of like how we can relate our yoga practice to off the mat when we're in life and, out in public doing what we do, transitioning from here to there. And so when we can tune into graceful ease and mindfulness in our transition, in our yin yoga practice or any of our yoga practices, then it's just really supportive of taking that mindfulness into life, into real life. So let's just steady the breathing, tune into that rhythm. Take just a few more breaths. So see if you can really tune into the inhale and the pause, the exhale and the pause that follows. And then we're just going to hold on or take the elbows and the forearms to the ground. Slowly lift the shoulders up. Bring one hand onto the mat, then the other. And press up. Let's stretch out that left leg. Just roll onto the right and release it forward. Again, just wiggle or flex and stretch the toes, point. And we'll take the left leg out and the right foot into the inner left thigh. And if you want your props, place them in front as you fold forward, rounding the back, allowing the head to hang comfortably with the neck in fine form, happy neck. Relax the jaw as you soften all through the face. Scan the body, and if you find those points, sometimes we don't even know we're holding tension until we consciously try to find them, locate them, and send them some healing breath. And how does it feel to have your hands on the ground, all the points of the fingers? Maybe the whole hand isn't connected to the ground, but find those places where they are connected and tune in to that experience in your hand or your fingers. Even imagine them in moist soil or something lovely. Visualizing that earthiness between your fingers. And then as we take one more nice deep inhale and a final relaxing exhale, just really soften and round in. Now press all of the parts of the hands down. Feel all of your hand on the ground as you straighten the arms. And just start to walk your hands towards you. Coming back up. Preparing to take a little bend. So the left elbow can come onto the leg. Supporting the left cheek in the palm of the hand. Or you can let that left arm straighten out inside the leg. As long as you feel really comfortable. So when you find your comfort, let's find stillness then. Let your body settle into stillness. Relax all around the eyes and the nose and the ears and the jaw. And to notice your breathing, the inhale and the pause. And follow the exhale down to the other pause. And then back up again. Let's take another nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhaling to release. Alright, so let's just guide the head back a little more in line with the spine as you bring the body back up. And we'll stretch the legs out in front. You can take the hands behind, open the chest as you press down through the hands, either gazing forward or dropping head back, you decide. And there we go, let's come on forward. I'm going to coming into a swan or a pigeon pose here. So you can come from four-legged position or you can come from downward facing dog. If you feel like you want to stretch out your legs a little, you can really press one heel down as the other heel rises, and then come up onto all 10 toes, crack, 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 and then drop the right heel down, bending that left knee, stretching the left toes, and come on up. So then we'll bring the right knee inside the right wrist, so just sort of swinging it underneath, and walking the left leg back. Trying to keep the hips balanced here, so if you need a block underneath your right hip, or any kind of filler for that space, do so. And you can always start sort of with an open chested, open pose before rounding down. And so eventually bring the forehead to the mat or to a block. You can also stack your fists one on top of the other and connect your third eye between your eyebrows to the top fist. Come to your breathing, settle in, find that rhythm that is unique to you. Some of you might be super low. If this is really uncomfortable in your knee, I would suggest coming to lie on your back and taking a thread the needle pose, bringing the knee towards your chest. So there's an option if this is uncomfortable in that knee, or if there's any discomfort that you'd prefer to avoid. Because we want to surrender, we want to let go, we want to tune in to sensation that's happening in the now, in the body. And then really find the breath and let that breath sort of send its vital energy into those places. And sometimes calming energy is what we need vitally. Pretty much constant, I would say, really. Exhale, just soften, surrender, and let go. Allow the body to let you know when it wants to go deeper. You don't have to force anything. Take another 5 exhales, because I know this is such a beauty. Once you're in it, sometimes it just really takes you to a lovely depth. And so just enjoy this time, enjoy your breath. So as you're ready to come up, slowly rise. You can come back to downward facing dog, or you can come back onto all fours and just start to stretch the body out as feels good. And then let's take this on the other side. The left knee comes to the left wrist. Slowly walk that right leg back. Check on the balance of your hips. I'm going to feel that space on the left side for my body. So we all need to modify at certain times. And then I'm just going to take a nice deep breath in before folding down. Just because I love that little heart opener. And then just start to settle toward the earth. And find that position that allows your head to rest comfortably. Where your neck doesn't have to hold it up. And just sink in. Settle in. How is the rhythm of the breathing now? If you're finding any shallowness on the exhale, see if you can deepen and maybe lengthen the count of the exhale, just to stay present with that action of release. Check on the texture of your breath. When I say check on, it's really just be aware of. You don't even have to really change it, or you can. Just to allow the body to be breathed naturally and observe as a witness is absolutely an action of surrender. You're removing yourself from a story and just allowing and witnessing. And that's where we find those magic moments. We might be able to access our internal landscape a little deeper with more consciousness. Or even just tune into the physical body in a way that we haven't, whilst remaining aware of breath and steadiness in the body and breath. Just a few more full breaths here. Alright, so now let's press the hands into the ground. Get that earthly connection there and start to walk your hands back. And just we're going to move into either a down dog or just release that leg from all fours, whatever you need to do. I'm going to take that down dog. Just really nice for stretching out the legs. We've already given our toes a nice stretch, so it's really kind of awesome to come back here and give them another opportunity to stretch out. So let's just gently come onto the knees. We're going to come on to the back in a moment. So if you would like here to put on a little bit more oil, because sometimes last week, for example, we started to lie down and I forgot. So now is a good time just to reapply if you've got that oil by your side. We're getting close to the end of practice. We're coming down onto our backs. And so just wash that scent of your oil through your nostrils into your body. You can even just put it on your face, on your your face. Sure, you can put it on your face. On your third eye is a good spot. On your ears. And let's come to settle on the back. All right. I'm going to take a block, or you can take a book or two underneath your sacrum. You've done a lot of leg work tonight, so let's just raise them up. You might prefer to do this at the wall, but this is a really accessible way just to really nourish the legs, give thanks to the legs, and to restore and let any sort of stuck energy in the feet or in the ankles or in the knees just to start to waterfall down and out. You can visualize it moving into the earth, into the dirt, into the soil, and just being sort of absorbed down away from you so that you're left with just a lighter feeling. Until the legs might start to feel a little heavy. That happens over time. But we'll just breathe for a bit longer here. Sending the breath into the body, finding the spaces for the inhale to receive, to heal. And just taking 5 more breaths here. And then when you're ready to come down, just plant the feet, lift the hips and remove the block. Let's take the feet really wide on the mat and just winch to center, exhale them to the right, come back to center. We'll do that one more time on each side. Next time as you let your knees fall left, let your gaze fall right. And then exhale, knees right, exhale, gaze left. And come back up. So let's now create a little Shavasana nest. You might like to place a bolster underneath your knees from along the width of the mat. You might like a blanket on top of your body or a eye pillow over your eyes. I am a little cold, so I'm going to use my blankie. And then come to really connect your body, your shoulders to the ground. Again, walk them in slightly. Find that shelf for your heart to open, but then rest on, settle into. And now the arms can be splayed outwards if that's comfy with palms up. You might prefer a different alternative for the hands today, so just do what you like. And let the back of the head feel nice and steady on the ground. Let your eyes rest deeper into the sockets. Let the jaw soften. And the third eye space to soften also. Find those points of connection between your body and the floor. All of them, from head to toe. Or head to heel, I should say. And just let your body be sort of enveloped with that safety net of the earth, so it can know that it can really settle deeper and more relaxed now. Notice the breathing at your nostrils. And follow the breath into the body, noticing where it lands. The pause and the release. The exhale. The pause. And so on. Just really notice how you feel, or your cues in your body when you do feel grounded. How does that land in your body and with your breath? If you want to come back and revisit your intention from earlier, just offer yourself those positive words, the positive statement, your affirmation for yourself. Sort of a resolution, not just on your mat, but off the mat, out in the world. And now invite a deeper breath back into your body. Allow those connection points between your body and the floor to lighten as you bring some movement into your fingers, your toes. Eventually moving the arms and the legs until you're having the biggest full body stretch, reaching your arms overhead, fingertips away from toe tips. And then roll onto the right side, or you can bend your knees in first just to release the lower back. Roll onto the side and come on up. And just in your seat with eyes closed, bring your hands together and heart center. Thank you for your practice. Stay grounded. I love you. Namaste. If you